Good morning and welcome. It is Monday, the 11th of April. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, coming up today, we'll do the review of yesterday, the review of golf, we've got today's bets, and we'll do a quick bit of rundown of last week's stats and where we are for April. And as I've said to you yesterday, for the rest of this week but past today, I'll be operating on a smaller video format and will be a little bit less responsive to messages and updates and stuff. So one thing I will flag is usually if there's a non-runner straight after I've put a bet on, I will flag and I'll offer an alternative on terms of alternative horse, sometimes an alternative way of doing the bet. I'll only do that within kind of like an hour of a non-runner really, because I don't want it to make it too complicated for different people. If there are non-runners this week, I might not be in a position where I can do that. So it might just be that the bets are on, and if it's a lucky 15, there's a horse missing out of it. You might need to make your own selection on that. All right, so yesterday's horses, really frustrating to be honest. This bet started to look quite good. Leo De Fury was backed in about 8-1. Mickey De Steele was backed into 15-2. And you know, it's a significant amount of money to get backed in. So you're thinking maybe there's something that people know about there because those prices held in the morning, but they weren't there. And so nothing in this bet really got close. So I know the prices look big on paper, but I really thought we'd get something out of that, and not necessarily, you know. You're never always hoping that you'll get profit every time, but well, you are hoping, but you don't. But yeah, I was really disappointed with that bet. I'm sorry about that. And then in bet 2, Toronto went in and won. It was SP'd at 5s. We had it 7s on the channel. Arizona Gold was a non-runner, and then Watch Your Status was down the field. So for the channel bet, and if you put it on before the non-runner was declared, I got back 260 because Toronto became a single because of the non-runner. So it was 10 on yesterday, 260 back for channel statistics. So disappointing day. And then we move on to the golf, which just, I mean, when a horse falls over, it's really sad, and I would never shout at a horse. But I tell you what, I'll shout at a golfer for hitting a treble bogey. Masters Golf, we had singles. Dustin Johnson, quite a few of them did, to be fair, hit treble bogeys on the last round, but Dustin Johnson's absolute cost us. Treble bogey, he got 2 birdies afterwards, and then he hit a bogey on the 18th, and it cost us because he then finished in tied 12th, and we were paying out on 11. Xander Schauffele missed the cut. Corey Connors did play a decent round, so we got decent bit back there. So there was a £9 return on that. So for the singles bet, we almost broke even. Mark Leishman didn't do much. Webb Simpson dropped off the last day. Rob McIntyre played a decent last round, but not close enough. And Kevin Na was only a couple of shots away at 125s, which would have been nice. So £9 back for the singles. And then with the combo bet that we'd done, we've got Corey Connors did place. Rob McIntyre was close, but as we know, these weren't the right 2 of the national horses. Had I put Santini in there, we'd been talking about a different story, but never mind. And then the lucky 15 bet, again, Dustin Johnson cost us, because if it wasn't for that calamitous back 9, he'd have comfortably placed. He'd have been the top 5 American, so we'd have had a place, a non-runner and a place, and we'd have made profit on there. So overall, I've made it 10-20 back for the £20 on the golf. So we only got back half. So really disappointing end, to be honest. So just as a quick headline, I've made that for the week 140 on last week, 115.38 back, a loss of 24.62. So that's a loss of 17%, which isn't great. It's clearly better than the week before where we had an absolute shocker. But over the course of 2 weeks, I'm really conscious we're down nearly 100. The week before that, we made more than that. It's the way it goes sometimes, and I appreciate the way that I book bets out isn't for everybody. So you need to make your clear decisions. This is a high risk strategy. We do lose more days than we win. In the long run, I'm trying to make some money. We had a really nice little run up to Cheltenham. We've had 2 weeks really where we've had a couple of reasonable days on the horses, but nothing really decent, and it's costing us. So I'm conscious if you started following a couple of weeks ago, you'd be £100 down, whereas the week before, if you're doing that just for that week, you'd be 120 up. And so it is what it is, and I'm not happy about it. But and again, I can't stress this enough. I appreciate everybody who's watching this channel is an adult, and you make your own decisions based on what I say. And if you're going to follow somebody, on a YouTube channel, then good luck to you to do that. And I'm putting myself out there, but it really hurts when we have losing runs, because it just does. It hurts because I know that people are putting them faith in me, and when we have a bad week and a bad month, personally, I'm used to it. But when I'm doing it and other people are following the tips, it really doesn't feel very nice. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so today's bets. I'm going half stake day today, half stake, and we've got 3 bets, 2 normal bets and 1 little extra. So 3 bets. We've got a Windsor Lucky 15. The 2 Lucky 15s are 16 pence each way. That works out as a 480 bet. And at Windsor, I'm going to go after some prices today. Some of these aren't the most obvious races that some people might be looking at Windsor. I've left out a couple of paying extra places, and I've put in the 255, which I like this horse. So we've got 150 company mix, 40 to 1, paying 5 on Sky Bet. The 255 Solel Blanc, 18 to 1. 330 Stake a Claim, 22 to 1, and the 510 Remendium, 50 to 1, 16p each way, lucky 15. If you're new to the channel, this looks like the stupidest bet you've ever seen in your life. If you've been on a while, sometimes these can get close. So we will see. The prices are an inform of what the bookies think the chances of these horses are of winning. I'm saying they have got a better chance of performing well than the odds suggest. So that is bet 1. We're then going into bet 2. This is our northern bet. 1 Hexham, 3 Pontefract. So the 240 Hexham, Real Armani, 12 to 1. 340 Pontefract. It's a really tricky race, that. It's a competitive race, but I'm going to take a chance on Spoof at 14s. 415 Pontefract. It's come in a lot, that one, at the odds, but I'm still happy to put it in with the bet. So Francolino, 4 to 1. I wouldn't take it a single. And then the 550 Pontefract, I've missed off a 1 there, but that is 33 to 1, Latin 5, 16p each way, lucky 15, £4.80. And then because I'd done 2 like that and they were even, it left 40 pence, and I could have put 20p each way on a single or on a double. There's nothing I was really feeling stronger about, so I'm just going to take a bit of a punt on my best forecast for the day. As I've said to you before, I don't do many on the channel. I do, personally, I do a few when the conditions are right. So I don't put them on the channel lots because most of them lose, but in the long run, if you get the right sorts, you can make a bit of profit from it. So we're going to go bet 3, 330 Windsor, Lihu and Stake a Claim, the 20p reverse forecast, and I feel like I'd rather chuck 40p on that than potentially a small return. To just give you context, based on what the odds are of those horses now, a £1 reverse forecast would probably pay about 140 at the moment off that. So if you're taking the fact that we've got a fifth of that equivalent, it would still pay about 28 quid, between 25 and 35 pounds. So if they were the first 2, and so I'd rather chuck 40p and trying to do that than do it elsewhere. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I've whistled through those today, and a few other bits of stats. So if you want more stats, last week, what went wrong last week? The percentages are still not there. So that's 2 weeks in a row. We've been running a much smaller win and place percentage. So channel average is now 35%, but the last week was 27. Week before that was 26, and that's way low. Before that we were running really consistently. So I'm literally just not getting the volume. So some of the prices are still there, that the volume's not there for the last 2 weeks. We had a really nice 33 to 1 winner, which was a highlight, Red Heel. And then so the channel is running now 16% profit overall for channel, 20% if you just did horses, but we're minus 20 now if you just do the golf. So the golf's gone a real slump, and it will be, if I do a golf bet this week, it'll be very small anyway. And for April we're minus 46. So we made profit in January, February and March. April we are behind at this present moment in time. So overall channel stats are still good. I'm happy with them, but for the last 2 weeks and for April, it's not great. So I would love to have some sort of nice win pop up this week, but you never know when it's going to happen. All right, You enjoy your day, I will enjoy mine, and I will see you tomorrow for short format flat cap, Callum, whatever that might look like. All right, thanks very much. Cheerio.